What's up, guys? You're tuning into Midiem, the podcast for dancers, where we gather insights and stories from leading industry professionals, helping you to navigate the territory of the dance world whilst inspiring mastery of the craft. Today we're chatting with Rhys Kosakowski, who's a professional dancer currently with the Sydney Dance Company. He was formerly with the Houston Ballet and was one of 4 original Billies from Billy Elliot, the Musical Australia. I'm pumped to be chatting with Rhys today, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. And if you do, please like and subscribe, and we'll keep the content coming. Let's get into it.
Going from school when I was younger, straight, even in Billy Elliot. Billy Elliot was, it was a job, but it was so fun, and I was so young, and I didn't even think about it as a job. But when I got to Houston and I just did the 3-week summer school, my eyes and my mind completely opened to something way different and way more strict and way more professional. And I looked around and everyone was there to be a professional dancer. They weren't just there to dance and have fun. And I easily turned straight into that mindset as well. Like when I got there, I watched company class and just dreamed of being in there. And so I put my mind to it, and it was hard, but it was a very, very good, but a completely different shift of mindset. It was quite hard to go fully straight there from just dancing to this is my job and I want to keep going up in the ranks. So I don't know if that answers your question. It was hard, it was difficult, but it was very empowering at the same time because everyone around you had support, everyone was on the same journey. So it was nice. It's kind of like I've never been to university, but it would be kind of the same. Like, you have fun, but you're also there to get that diploma and get that job or get that certificate at the end of the uni course. So it's kind of like that.
And is there something that you do to kind of like maintain that original love that you and like passion that you had for the craft, like in terms of just fostering that for yourself, whether it be like your own kind of personal practice or little, things that you do to keep that passion alive?
Sometimes it can not easily be lost, but you've got the days where it just feels completely lost and you don't know really why you started, and it's like a big downer. But I think for me personally, I mean, chucking on a good track and just dancing to it really brings me back to my roots of, dancing feels really good, and that's why I'm doing it. But also ballet class, like if I feel crappy, if I feel shitty, I'm just going to take myself into that studio and do a ballet class for myself. And it just completely lifts you and reminds you why you started pointing those feet.
Big time, man. And I think it's something that, a lot of dancers kind of have to battle with, I think, for over the course of their careers. I mean, constantly, bringing things back into perspective so that they can continue kind of creating the art that they want to make whilst balancing that kind of the work aspect with the actual kind of
the work.
Yeah,
everyone deals with it. Like every dancer, you ask the same question. It's every artist, honestly. Like as soon as you put a rate or a deadline or a job title on your passion, it sometimes can go just that, and you forget about the passion or the fire or the spark. It's being an artist, and it's that constant battle, but it's definitely always there, and it always will be. It's going to be like riding a bike for me.
And tell me about moving overseas for you. I just want to hear a little bit about your experience, and whether or not you found it easy or challenging, kind of moving from home when it's familiar and comfortable, and then kind of venturing out into the unknown in a way. How you kind of confronted that, and what strategies, I guess, you used to kind of like flourish within that environment.
Um, I think for me, I was lucky because I was very used to being away from family and just, just completely moving somewhere by myself. Um, when I was 12, I had to do it. So it was, we had chaperones and people that looked after us, of course, but the whole leaving family aspect was new to me at that time, but it just felt kind of normal and okay. I saw my parents a lot every 3 weeks when I was in Billy Elliot, but when I did go to Houston, I could not see my parents every 3 weeks. So it was hard sometimes. I got homesick, but um, I really just dove into Houston Ballet, and and the friends and the dancing, and I kind of didn't think of anything else. Of course, I thought about my family, but um, and I miss them, but I was really preoccupied with my work and training. So I don't know. It wasn't too difficult for me. I think it was more difficult coming home and realizing, wow, I've missed so much. Even just growing, like my sister growing up, seeing my nan, I was like, that was actually harder than being away.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, cool. And looking at the, I guess, the transition from like a predominantly like ballet background for you, coming from
Yeah.
like Houston and then moving back home to Sydney and then starting the Sydney Dance Company, where it's like, primarily contemporary focused work. Have you found that shift hard, or has it been like quite seamless for you in like, accessing that kind of diversity of your skill set?
It was not seamless. It's still not seamless. Like
Yeah, okay.
I'm still the way I hold my body is still super classical, and I think it always will be. Um, and I watch dancers like you or Jesse or even Davide, and they're very like fluid, grounded, and deep into their core, and like it's like they could never slip or on the ground. They're always super grounded, and movement is quite natural. And I'm jealous, but I have learned a lot from those dances already, and I can see a change in my dancing in my body just from being here for 2 years. But it's still hard because most of the work here at Sydney Dance is quite grounded, but also has so much ballet through it, jumps, lines, and partnering. So I've taken a lot from both worlds and I've merged it, and I think it's a really nice balance to have, unless it's a piece where I'm being thrown on the ground and I'm just rolling and rolling and I have to make everything seamless. Like that would be quite a challenge for me. Um, Even contemporary class, sometimes like floor work is. I just watch people. I'm like, how are you doing that? And I am always learning. But yeah, I think it's a nice balance at the moment. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, cool. And
Yeah.
what's kind of coming up in terms of performances and touring with Sydney, and what are you looking forward to, coming back after COVID and actually having the opportunity to start touring and performing again?
Everyone's just so keen to get back on stage because COVID has been just an up and down mess. Um, and a lot of broken hearts because we did have like a New York trip that got cancelled, and we were on break when we got an email about that it's cancelled. So we're all pretty upset. But right now we're rehearsing a piece by Raphael Bonicello called Abintra that you've done, and it's a really beautiful piece. There's a lot of solos, duets, trios, group sections, and the music is beautiful. we're taking that to France, 4 cities in France. And
Yeah.
then we're going to come back and do a Sydney season. I'll see you there. We'll do a Sydney season when we come back.
Yeah.
And then we also do a regional national tour of Impermanence, which you've also done.
Mm.
And then at the end of the year is New Breed. So, yeah, very excited for a tour. And my first international company tour. So I'm really excited and also very excited that we get our own apartments in the whole tour. So every place to stay in France, we get our own apartment. So
Wow. The
it's going to be
the perks of COVID.
like COVID, like 1.5. Got to get our
Yeah,
own room.
exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward into the future a little bit, what do you kind of envision your, trajectory in terms of your like career path? Where do you see that like going after like I guess company life, even as
Yeah.
as a dancer or after dance?
I want to open up like one or two of my own businesses. I've always loved flowers. I've been a florist for a bit of my life. My mum's been a florist her whole life, and I'm the biggest green thumb ever. And I really would love to start that, but never give up dance, even if I'm not dancing in a company. Um, I see myself merging dance into fashion a bit more, and I'd love to work in the fashion industry with campaigns and editorials and shoots as kind of like a movement director slash choreographer for fashion, and that might be I don't know, a Fendi catwalk, or it could be a perfume campaign video, or just a Vogue shoot, or someone on set that can tell the models to loosen up, or
Mm.
give an arm, or hold the bottle here and look here and chin here, and like
Yeah.
yes, arm here, and like loosen them up a bit. And I think that's really in me. I've done a few jobs like that before, and I felt right at home because
Mm.
I felt like I've had a lot of dance experience and I've met a lot of people. And I think um, in the fashion world, you don't really get a lot of people on set that were dancers professionally. So it's nice to merge those two worlds together. And I think I want to go into that direction a little bit, as well as some other things.
As artists, the collaboration process is such a massive part of, I guess, how we create works and then produce them as well. So I mean, having the opportunity to have already established yourself within other industries, whether it be fashion or whatever, as well as dance, it's cool to be able to have the chance to continue creating in different ways and continue producing art that you love, and relating it to different aspects of your craft as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think fashion is such a like a great area in the art form because they appreciate everything. Like music, there's music in everything, every fashion label, or like music is always used. You've got photography, you've got poems, you've got movement, you've got colors. Like everything is mixed into fashion. I think I could really bring something. I mean, I've got a lot of friends that were ex ballet dancers or contemporary dancers that are doing what I'm talking about, and they're making great money. They're making a living, and they're surrounded by artists. And I think it's a beautiful way to live. Just it also make me feel better because once I do stop dancing in a company in the foreseeable future, it won't make me feel like I've completely stopped dancing or stopped creating movement. So it's a good way to stop, but not completely stop.
What advice would you offer to a student dancer um, or just anyone aspiring to have a career in dance? Is there a word or a couple of I guess, ideas that you would suggest to people to facilitate in bringing that aspiration to life?
I would say to my younger self, I'd be like, Reese, I know you and I know what you're doing right now, and I'm an older version of you and I know what you should do. So listen to me. I would say, like, get your head into gear and really focus on the training and get as much out of the school learning aspect as you can, even when you're in the company. If um, Just really take whatever they give and concentrate, and I don't know, just put as much effort into that as you can, and don't be self-conscious, because I still struggle with confidence as a performer, and you know I know I'm a good dancer, but that's sometimes not enough in the head, because your mind is the most powerful muscle in your whole body, and it can really take away a lot of your performance quality, or just I don't know.
So what is that mental process for you when you might be falling into a moment of self-doubt or self-criticism? What is the kind of dialogue that goes on within you to try and offset that, or to bring yourself back into balance so that you can kind of be the best performer and person that you can be?
Well, it might be different for me, but and to some other people as well. But I have to actually sometimes reassure myself and talk myself up a bit in my head. As weird as that sounds, like um, I don't know. I kind of just have to say, you've put in the work. You know what you're doing. You're good at it. So just dance it, and don't dance for anyone else, or don't think about who's watching, or don't try and think about what people might be thinking while watching you. Just dance for you, and I think that's what I have to constantly tell myself. On stage, it's a little different. On stage, I feel a bit more like I'm on stage and no one's there, because there's lights, it's black, it's silent, and the adrenaline takes over, and it kind of makes you feel like you're on this powerful drug, and you're not really in your head as much
Mm.
as maybe just in the rehearsal room, or showing someone a dance. I don't know, but you just really have to try and get that out of your head, and be confident in yourself and not think too much. And
Mm.
yeah, I would just tell myself to not be so self-conscious, and really put the hard work in the training. That's what I'd say. So I've been seeing a mind trainer, and he's kind of like a therapist, but he specializes in how to, like, teaches you how to meditate, but in a personal way. So we have consultations once a week, and he gives me tools on how to deal with emotions, problems, thoughts, how to clear my mind. If I'm shitty in rehearsal, or something's really pissed me off and I just can't shake it, and I'm pissed all day, or I'm quiet, I don't really hold on to anything anymore, which is nice because of meditation and sound baths, like alpha and beta sounds. Like, hearing that really is a calming way. And sometimes if I'm a bit like hectic in the morning, like I've got a big day and I'm trying to get ready or rush out the door, I'll just pop that sound bath music on, and while I'm making breakfast, and instantly everything's a bit more calmer. He's taught me how to meditate properly. Plus self care, like my skin is very important to me, and like organics and facials and stuff, but also saunas and stretching and swimming. I've also just picked up surfing. Like, I literally learned how to surf one day, and I caught 8 waves that first day. And the teacher was like, "This has never happened to me before." He was like, "You're a natural," and I was like, "I know, thank you." But like, I don't know, self care for me, especially as a dancer and for my mind, it's definitely meditation. It's definitely good food, good skincare, sauna, icing. Yeah, all of that stuff. Ocean is magic.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. If you have any thoughts or ideas, please share them in the comments or message us on Instagram at Midiem Podcast, because we'd love to hear your feedback. If you enjoyed the podcast, please share it with your friends, as we'd love to continue building the community and sharing as much information as we can. Thanks so much, and see you soon.